Hi everyone, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm DK.
I'm Rizzo.
And I'm Zero, and today in Anime Reaction was the first episode of Keijo.
AKA the perfect anime.
If you want to check out our reaction to the first episode of Keijo, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comment section, because we know you guys are completely polarized on this. But let us know how you feel.
And as always, if you like what you see, and I know you're going to love what you see with this, subscribe to Otaku Saga, and don't forget to like and share our videos. And thanks for watching.
I had a spit take. That's this anime.
There you go.
We have the first documented on reaction spit take. It's taken us almost a year.
Almost a year, more than... We're over 1,000 videos total. I think we're at like 650 or 660 on this channel.
Anyway,
but yeah, we finally have one.
So, before we start doing the synopsis, I just want to say this is not how the manga starts. At all.
Okay.
Like, it lost me for a few minutes.
Alright, so points off for writing and direction.
I wasn't expecting that it would start here. I understand why they did it, because I think that it was a more effective way to show what Keijo was. And it also introduced us to the four main characters, which I assume are the roommates here.
Okay.
So, yeah, it just kind of threw me off at first.
But you're still willing to overlook
the way that the manga starts, and they might even get to it in the anime, it starts off with Nozomi still in high school, and she gets offers to colleges to do gymnastics. Okay. But she turns them all down because she wants to be a Keijo player, and she only wants to be a Keijo player for the money. Because she comes from an incredibly poor family.
Incredibly poor.
Like, I can't remember if she didn't have any parents anymore.
Ouch.
Or if they just weren't there. But I remember that it had her and then two siblings living in a very shitty apartment.
Ouch.
But so she's in it for the money, basically.
Can't blame her.
Yeah.
Can't blame her one bit.
It actually makes me...
She wants to get her fam out of the hood. And I'll never say that again, thank you. That was so white.
You'll slowly say it
Which
again.
parts? Fam or hood?
Yes.
Both.
But it actually makes me curious if there's actually like gymnastics, like free gymnastics programs, because all the gymnastics programs that I've seen are, more or less expensive.
Well, in college, I mean, you're more likely to get scholarships and all that stuff.
In this case, the high school, and I probably assume the middle school that she had gone to, had gymnastics clubs, which are significantly less expensive than like just gymnastics programs here in the States.
And also in Japan, gymnastics is a very popular sport.
Yeah.
So.
But the first chapter of the manga does a better job introducing us to the world of Keijo rather than just the sport of Keijo. So in this world, Keijo is the most popular sport in the world.
I can see why.
Yeah. Like, it showed a little bit in this episode where they have huge stadiums dedicated to it.
Right.
You get a bunch of old guys there betting on them like they're betting on horse races. I mean, just, it is a massive circus. And because of the short nature of it and the amount of players that it has, they run it like every single day. You know, they can run tons and tons of matches every single day.
It's perfect.
So it just rolls in tons of cash.
You know what? We have to make this a thing.
Oh, please, God.
We have to.
Please, God.
We have to. We have to do this, gentlemen.
No. For the love of God. Anyway, so in the manga, we get introduced to Nozomi's, I think, childhood friend. And he's trying to dissuade her from going into Keijo. And we also get introduced to, I think he was the advisor for the gymnastics club, who's also trying to dissuade her. And so he takes them to a Keijo stadium.
Not a good way to dissuade someone, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically, instead of dissuading her, he gets her more excited for it.
Yeah.
But also, she gets picked up by like a scout or something like that. And she gets to participate in kind of a beginner's
Little hands-on introductory thing.
basically a test match, which is where she meets Miyata. Yeah, Miyata, the white-haired girl who's a former judo champion. And I think that's about where I left off. Like, they have the practice match. Mm-hmm. It kind of shows both of their like natural skill at Keijo.
Right.
I almost wish that they actually did that because I would have loved to have had a easier intro into Keijo.
I actually have to disagree with that. I like the sort of impactful introduction that we got with that full-on entrance exam, or in the aftermath thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're always a fan of story over things like fan service and stuff like that. And where I can certainly see where story can take hold here, I'd like to see more of it. And that's why I was like, I kind of wish that we got more of the manga introduction, because that is more story-based and a lot more impactful in terms of, knowing who these characters are.
Yeah.
All that we know is that there is this person who just wants to be a Keijo player. That's all we know.
She wants to be a Keijo player because of the money, and she's going to an academy for Keijo. The other thing that I didn't like about this episode was that they started off with Nozomi and Miyata. Sorry, Miyata started off with Nozomi and Miyata like going into the school for the first time, and then we get a flashback
to
of the
entrance exam.
The entrance exam, and so that wipes out any like excitement for that exam. Like,
no.
Like it wipes out any kind of
any suspense, how they gonna do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why shonen series work, and that's because there's always a aspect of suspense. Goku has died a few times.
Yeah.
He was gonna come back because hand waving and
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Goku
there's some amount of suspense there. This wiped out all suspense by showing Nozomi and Miyata being red ribbon students, I guess. Red tie students.
Yeah.
And then showing, I think it was Toyoguchi Known.
Oh yeah.
The
she
one,
works out.
Yeah, the one that Nozomi was going up against in the
lightning speed ass attack.
Yes. Yeah, the one where she pushes the opponent's jaw back and then shakes their brain to knock them out.
Woo!
Basically the same as an uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Except with an entire fucking hip.
Boom!
Yeah. I think it's safe to assume that the author of the series is an ass man.
It is called Hip Whip Girl.
Yeah.
So basically what the title translates
to be fair, they also use boobs a fair bit. Not in this episode, but
well, you have to appeal to your demographic.
Anyway, so yeah, I guess let's do a really quick recap. So at the very beginning, it shows Nozomi and Miyata showing up for the first day of school because it's basically like the National Keijo Academy. There's a bunch of reporters there kind of
trying to scout out the new talent.
Scout out the new talent.
Can you imagine seeing this on ESPN?
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da. Exactly.
OSPN.
We have
coming soon.
Otaku Sports and something network. I actually forgot what ESPN stood for. So anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So it shows them, going into the school, and then we have one reporter that wants to interview Nozomi, but then her superior comes by and is like, "Why are you interviewing her? That's a nobody." Oh my god, that's so freaking stupid.
That was a little bit annoying, yeah. But you gotta love Nozomi's reaction during the reporter's conversation. She's like, huh?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at like real sports, yeah, the more popular players or the more known players are going to get more recognition from the press,
but they
generally like interview almost everybody.
Yeah. I mean, well, also when they see,
you never know who could turn out to be a superstar.
But they also see all these, supposed elites coming in and talking to this supposed nobody. They think, oh, maybe they're on to something.
Yeah. But anyway, Nozomi shows off her mad gymnast skills.
Ding.
And impresses people.
And then completely forgets how to get down.
Right.
Well, she takes her time getting down.
That was very funny.
Well, that little hunger boob games symbol there. That was blatant rebel. That's a nice touch. I do like that.
Yeah. So then at that point, Nozomi and Miyata walk into the pool area, and they're talking, and that's when we get the flashback of the, I guess, entrance exam for what it's worth, and which was awesome.
It really was.
Just
basically, it's it amounts to a giant area with a bunch of different land, is what they call it.
Land
circles.
Platforms.
And then they also have more
sort of like a buoy, but
it's like a buoy beam bridge.
Yeah, part buoy,
thing.
part balance beam.
It's a lot less stable than the regular land is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of something that was in Ninja Warrior. Mm-hmm. There was this long, unstable. It was just a beam. And it looked exactly like what they had in this.
All right, a bunch
it
of
was
like
it was like this wide, or it was like this tall, about that wide, and it just ran down the center. And if you stepped on either side of the balance point, then it would just and you really had to work around it.
Anyway, so we got the entrance exam fight. Which basically the only thing that we really had to pay attention to really here was we got a little bit with Miyata, but less than I think that there should have been for a first episode, trying to introduce her. I think, I haven't read very much of the manga at all, but I think that part of it was, I think that this is like a later chapter. So at that point in the manga, we would have already been introduced to Miyata. So we wouldn't necessarily have needed to see too much of her fight.
Right.
But basically what her fight amounted to was she ended up getting surrounded, and then she defeated all but one of them, and then the one came in to attack her attack her with her boobs against her boobs, because Miyata has small boobs. And Miyata does this maneuver where basically she moves so fast that you still have the after image and replaces where her boobs are in the after image with her ass. So it looks like her boobs expand. Which was
top notch.
Although that did come to play later on in the flashback with the fight between Nozomi and Non.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Non?
Non.
Yeah.
Non. Non.
The redhead killer.
The very, very good player.
Actually, I thought that was Kawaii. I thought Non was the klutz in the dorm.
Is it?
Yeah, because I remember the character in her name.
Oh yeah, it was Hanabe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
okay.
right.
So yeah.
The pink haired.
So yeah.
The pink haired Yandere.
We're looking at the My Anime List page, and it's very hard to tell these images, and the two characters kind of look the same from a distance.
Yes, they do actually.
But anyway, so yeah, Nozomi ends up getting surrounded by a lot of weaker players that are trying to gang up on her.
Yeah, because
manages to escape.
Yeah, you got
awesome
that
gymnastics skills.
that same mentality as what happened in the Hunger Games, where you had a bunch of elitists just group together and take down everybody else, and then take down each other. What is basically the plan.
Nice comparison, especially
It's
given the
stupid.
series logo.
Well, actually see this a lot in a lot of shonen series where there's like a competition or something, where basically a bunch of like really weak people all gang up so that they can try to take down the strong people before taking down each other. I mean, it is technically a smart move. It's just always, in these type of series, it's always considered weak.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's you get that from just about a whole bunch of situations ranging from anime to like pro wrestling or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just,
and
just
movies, like
movies, yeah.
like Hunger Games.
There you go.
But yeah, so she ends up escaping, and then Kawaii shows up and just
Rex fools just
gives
left
a whole
and right.
new meaning to ass to mouth. Destroys the other players.
I really
Literally
do love.
knocks them unconscious.
Yeah, I really do actually love how she just.
Yeah, it's like hers is like her style of playing Keijo is like the twerking equivalent of Batsu Jitsu. Just done.
Pretty much. Yeah, she knocks people out with her ass, like literally. That's not hyperbole.
I have an
She,
ex.
on the
she
chin,
has a
just-
knockout ass.
I have an ex like that.
Ouch.
Anyway, so then we get a kind of drawn out fight between Nozomi and Kawaii. And right at the very last moment of the match, like probably the last 10 seconds or so, Nozomi goes in for the kill, and Kawaii manages to like torque her body enough.
To evade the blow. And
Well,
then
it not only evades the blow, but she like hits Nozomi with her hip while Nozomi is twisting her face
right into it.
right into it,
Caught her with a hook, basically.
basically. But yeah, so Nozomi ends up losing. She thought that she failed, but then she got a letter saying that she passed.
Yeah,
Well, she had like several kills in the match and went toe to toe and held her own against one of the top 3.
Yeah, but she technically
examinees.
did fall off the land before the time was up.
That's true.
So that's why
That
she
factor
thought that
against
she
her.
failed.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it would have been more effective if this wasn't the first episode and it didn't show that they had already passed. Like that took out any kind of tension in
I
that
would-
part of the story.
I would love to be able to see that tension, to actually feel that tension.
So all they had to do is like
If
reverse
it started
with this.
off like the manga and then it went into like Nozomi and Miyata like training for the exam, and then it went into the exam where you didn't know whether they passed or not. I think it would have been more effective.
So basically,
Totally.
according to you two, all they had to do is just switch out the first day at school with the entrance exam.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, even that would have been more effective,
Yeah.
I suppose. But yeah, there was no tension in that part at all, and I really felt that there should have been.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the present time, I guess. Nozomi and Miyata show up to the dorm, and they're looking for their dorm room, but it's not printed, and I guess somebody else has to tell them that they got put into room 309.
Which is apparently where they stick the rejects, more
Yeah.
or less.
And I don't get that. I really don't get that. Because
Like,
both Miyata and Nozomi performed really well in the entrance exam.
Like-
So I don't get why they expect them to leave school.
If I was to actually judge that entrance exam, they would easily be top 15.
Yeah.
top 10.
Top half at least.
Yeah.
Afforded a little more respect than what they've gotten so far.
I think it was said that there was 40 players, and there was only going to be 40 contestants that were going to enter, but there was less than 40 that was entering the thing. I think
there was probably multiple games.
Probably.
But yeah, there's like 40 girls, and then
basically the whole competition was just to get that prestigious class.
Yeah,
Get
to
the
be in
class.
the elite, the top 10,
Yeah.
so that you didn't have to pay so much tuition, which is what Nozomi was aiming for, because she's poor, which it didn't really bring across that well in this episode.
Okay, gotta knock on that. Character motivation is kind of important.
Like, I liked this episode. It was really funny, and
It was definitely.
it was exactly what you'd expect from this sort of anime.
It's supposed to set the
But
tone,
as
I
a
think.
good as a first episode, it's not that good. Because it doesn't set enough of a tone, I think.
But as we finish off our recap here, like Rizzo said, they're put in room 309, which is the reject room.
Yeah,
They call it the
and-
empty room.
Yeah, known
because
as the
it's-
empty room because they expect the room to be empty before like 2 months is out or something like that.
Agreed,
I
that's
will
kind of
never.
ridiculous.
I will never get that. I don't know.
But we are then introduced to Alba and Non Toyo
Kazane, Kazane, Alba, and Non Toyoguchi.
Oh my god.
One of them.
Yeah, at first, Kazane is like the very quiet girl she's reading a magazine on the other side of the room.
Has a scarf or muffler on. Just like
Has a muffler kind of covering her mouth. I actually really like her character design.
I get a distinct feeling of Akatsuki from Log Horizon.
I'm kind of reminded of Sento from Amagi Brilliant Park a little bit, except more Dondora.
Yeah. And then known is the klutz.
A world-class klutz.
Yeah.
Not
So
even
she
Moe
goes to
points
greet
either.
them, and then somehow hooks her foot into the handle of her bag, and trips over and slams her face against the closed door. Ouch. Yeah.
I gotta admit, I did like that little exchange afterwards. You're totally no. You're totally crying. I stopped myself the last second. No, your nose is red.
It's fine.
Oh my god.
And then Nozomi goes over to talk to Kazane. And she's like, "Oh, hey, cool, a Keijo magazine. Let me read that," and rips off part of the page.
And apparently that's Alba's berserk button. Because her whole ponytail turns into a okay, and it's quaking with anger.
She was like, "No, I really don't feel like talking."
Well,
Just leave me alone."
just imagine that like you're reading a manga book, right? And then a good chunk of the page gets ripped out because somebody else wanted to read the same magazine at the same time. Because they decided to grab at the page.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, let me see it."
Yeah, but
Yeah.
dick move.
Yeah, Dick
move.
Nozomi.
And if the page ripped, I have about 4 swords in the room. One, two, three, four. And then I have a bunch of knives.
Anyway.
They will all be coming your way
so
if you did.
Yeah.
Kazane freaks out, and then that exchange right afterwards was hilarious. Do you have any tape? And None's like, "I got duct tape. That'll work." No, it won't.
Let's see here. Yeah. You see this? Yeah, or imagine if it's silver like regular duct tape. Yeah. There's a slight problem with trying to mend a page with this. It's a completely opaque.
Can't see through it. Anyway.
Common sense is a superpower,
Yeah, and
and they don't have it.
that's about the end of the episode.
Yep. We got
Not
it.
quite.
we got a nice little stinger, which is the whole reason why.
The whole reason you should watch this, if you haven't already. The entire reason you should watch this.
I think that's a little unfair.
No.
Okay.
No, the entire reason
Maybe
why
the
you should
episode.
watch our reaction.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So there's a stinger where they're like first day of class and they get that kind of fat teacher.
Yeah.
The former
The
German
one
shot
that
putter.
looks as though she's related to Jabba the Hutt.
She looks like the teacher from Matilda, the former East German shot putter. I forgot her
An
name.
anime reference that I was thinking of is she looks like she used to be the landlady at an apartment that a certain devil, which is a part-timer, lives in. Like, seriously, she kind of looks like that.
But
lady.
I do think it's hilarious that throughout this entire episode, everything that we have seen so far has not done anything. This entire year of anime has not done it. However, at the very end, we're introduced to the first class, and of course we got this teacher, right? And
I assume that the teacher is like a former
Keijo.
former pro Keijo
Yeah.
player. And in her pro career, she earned the nickname the Siren.
yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah,
Nozomi, being the fucking idiot that she is.
I don't know if she was being just stupid or being a pure smartass at this point, though. It was that good.
She was like, no, that's no siren.
That's a seal! Fucking spit take.
That is the first time I've had a spit take. I have tried my damnedest to not to, but holy
If I didn't run out of water before that scene, I probably would have joined you in on that. That was fucking hilarious.
But yeah,
That's a damn
that was
moment.
the first episode of Keijo.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. It was hilarious.
Don't expect any Shakespearean quality of writing.
No.
No.
This is definitely.
It's not that kind of anime.
This is fan service, the anime.
Yep.
This is fan service, the anime.
If you're expecting any more, sorry guys.
Yeah. All out of
That's all
plot.
what this series is.
We have plot, but we're all out of plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway, so let us know what you thought of this episode and what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
And go ahead and thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't, because honestly, it's up to you. Your opinion. Come on.
It's a free world. That's gonna do it for this episode of Anime Reaction. As always, I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
And I'm Rizzo.
See you next time.
I'm drunk.
Drunk as me. I am drunk.
Whee! So as it turns out,